Well, first of all, this is a mission which was planned long ago, after the tragedy of October 7 and yet its aftermath. We decided to keep the mission, and we first came to Ramallah and Jericho, and tomorrow we will go to Tel Aviv. So this is a strong message, first of solidarity of European people towards Palestinian people and Israeli people as well, because both people are living right now a tragedy. So that was the first message. The second message is to assess the functioning of two European missions working in the Palestinian territories. This is EUPOL COPS and UBAM Rafah. The European Union is a bad weather friend for Palestinian people. We were there before, we are there now, and we will be there in the future to try to strengthen the future Palestinian state, providing training, counseling, and working on important issues like security, police, border management, things that are key for the future Palestinian state. So we are very concerned with what is taking place, especially in the West Bank, because of the violence of extremist settlers. So there will be a discussion in the coming days in the Foreign Affairs Council in Brussels about the possible sanctions towards extremist settlers committing violence against Palestinian civilians. Some member states already decided individual sanctions. I would prefer that it is decided at the European level. What we can do in the future depends first on the goodwill of the Palestinian side and of the Israeli side. If there is no goodwill from both sides, there's nothing we can do. But we can be a honest broker, because we have good relations with Palestinians, good relations with Israeli. We have a balanced position. We considered that what happened on October 7 was a barbaric terrorist attack. And we consider that even if Israel has a right to self-defense, it has to abide by international humanitarian law. So I think our position is very clear. We are also the biggest provider of assistance to the Palestinian people, and humanitarian assistance towards Gaza has to increase sharply. Already European member states and the European Union have increased very much their humanitarian assistance, but now there is the very big question of delivery to people inside Gaza. You know that the Security Council of the United Nations met yesterday evening. The representative of European member states voted in favor of the draft resolution asking for a ceasefire. It was vetoed by the United States. We need to feel a real will from Israel, but also from Hamas, to stop fighting. So far, we have not seen this political will from any side. And the casualties are, as you said, Palestinian civilians, elderly, women, children. This has to stop. I think there will not be security neither for Israel nor for Palestinian territories without a stronger PA in charge, both in the West Bank and in Gaza. And we need to go back to the parameters of the political solution. They are well known. 30 years ago, the Oslo Agreement showed the way, paved the way. We need, I would say, the courage for peace. Peace requires more courage than war. It's always easy to start a war. It's more difficult to stop it. But now we all know that there will not be security without peace. So we want to play our role to help, to promote, to incentivize all the stakeholders towards a real political solution. Exactly the same message that I just said, that violence in illegal settlements is not acceptable. I will also pay tribute, and we will pay tribute to the victims and the families of the killings by Hamas, the families of hostages. All hostages have to be released. There cannot be this cynicism of, okay, I'm giving you 3 and maybe tomorrow 6, or then I stop. These are innocent people. Most of them were militants for peace, and they should never have been abducted. They should not have been kidnapped. They have to be free. All of them have to go home now. There are different kinds of prisoners. We know that some committed violence and they have to have a fair trial. We know that for others there was what is called administrative detention, and they should have a right for a fair trial. And in any case, efforts have to be made towards peace. Everything that triggers bitterness, anger, negative emotion has to be prevented. It takes a Nelson Mandela and a Willy de Klerk between Israel and Palestine to find peace. I hope we find them.
We as a European Union are already thinking about the day after, when this war will come to an end. And we've always been very clear in our position as European Union. We see the future in a two-state solution, Israel and Palestine, with Jerusalem as a shared capital. When this war is finished, it will take a huge political effort to revitalize the peace and reconciliation process. But the European Union has been very clear that we are ready to support both sides, as we have done in the last years and decades. The European Union has called on all sides involved to try to avoid that innocent civilians are being killed. Every single civilian which is being killed is one too much. The Israeli military is conducting a very challenging, difficult operation. They have the right of self-defense. The European Union has been clear here, but on the other hand, it is enshrined in international law and international humanitarian law. The European Union has always had, and we hope to continue to play, the role of an honest broker, and that we, on the one hand, are partners of Israel, but on the other hand, we are also partners of the Palestinian people, and we are by far the largest international donor for the Palestinian Authority, and also we have increased our humanitarian support for these hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza who are in an extremely difficult situation now. As soon as the war ends, as soon as the fighting ends, we will start with the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip, and the European Union is ready to play an active role, bringing stability back to the Gaza Strip will be an enormous challenge, and we need many international partners around the table. One thing is clear: Hamas has brought nothing good to the Gaza Strip, nothing good to the people, and there can be absolutely no return of Gaza. The version is that in the end the Palestinian Authority is responsible, as it used to be, for the West Bank and for Gaza. This is an enormous effort, and we all will have to work together with our international partners in moving these things forward. The reconstruction of Gaza is one of the 6 points the High Representative and Vice President of the European Commission, Josep Borrell, outlined as our official statement of the European Union. As in the past, the European Union will be ready to help organize elections in the Palestinian Authority. We have done that. We have also observed the elections, and we will be ready to do so. When the next elections for the Palestinian Authority will take place is a decision which needs to be taken here in Palestine, together with the approval of the Israeli side. Here we have been very clear that we would like the elections to take place, but when this will exactly happen, this is not in our remit. It will have to be sorted out here on the ground. Well, that is our position as a European Union, and this is how we would like to see the elections being conducted, but we have now been witnessing for many years that obviously it's difficult to find an agreement. As I have made clear, the European Parliament, with huge majorities, has a very clear position. We see the future in the two-state solution on the international recognized borders, with Jerusalem as a joint capital, and that two people here share the same land and have a joint future and a joint vision of reconciliation and peace.